Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for October 24th, 2019 to order at 8:01 p.m. On roll call, council members Balistrary.
Here.
Fasolo.
Here.
Fava.
Here.
Ingui.
Here.
Wetchler.
Here.
Council President Pellegrin.
Here.
Mayor Golombek.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Can everyone please rise for our prayer and flag salute? O God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting with which we entrust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and implant therein a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so that our decisions will always please you and bring you peace and happiness to our community. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No, it's not you. This is always the weird meeting of the year, so figures. Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires at the commencement of every meeting a statement of compliance be read by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised that the meeting requirements for this meeting have been met by publishing a special meeting notice in the Record and Herald News and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk as well as in a public place within a municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on September 3rd, 2019. Madam Clerk?
Under the approval of minutes this evening, we have the September 12th special work session and executive session meeting minutes and September 19th regular meeting minutes.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Wetchler, Pellegrin. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Council members Balistrary.
Yes.
Fasolo.
Yes.
Fava.
Abstain.
Ingui.
Yes.
Wetchler.
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to a loan resolution, Resolution R-381-19, appoint police officer Lamont Griffin.
Would everyone please rise for the Elmwood Park Honor Guard and our nation's colors.
Please be seated.
Resolution R-381-19, appoint police officer Lamont Griffin. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the following named be and is hereby appointed as a police officer in the Police Department of the Borough of Elmwood Park beginning October 25th, 2019. Lamont Griffin. Be it further resolved that remuneration is set at the rate as per the 2018 to 2025 PBA contract effective March 15th, 2018.
I have a motion on this resolution.
Second.
Wetchler, Pellegrin. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Balistrary.
I abstain only because I have a family member that works for the police department.
Fasolo.
Yes.
Fava.
Yes.
Ingui.
I abstain because I have a family member who works for the police department.
Wetchler.
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries. At this time, I would like to call Mr. Griffin to the dais alongside his family to be sworn in as a police officer of the Borough of Elmwood Park.
Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Lamont Griffin,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of police officer
of the office of police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. At this time, I'll ask the council to make a few brief comments. Councilman Fasolo.
Congratulations, Officer Griffin. I want to wish you the best of luck on your new position here in Elmwood Park. You're joining a first-class police force that is one with its community. Stay safe, and I'll see you around the community. Thank you.
Councilwoman Wetchler.
Yes. Please welcome Mr. here. I was at your interview, and as the chief said, I'm the hugger. I'm the lady on the board, and I'm the hugger. Please be safe. Welcome aboard. You're working with the finest we have in Elmwood Park. Especially the chief. Be safe.
Well, congratulations and welcome to a very special police family. Stay safe and enjoy your career here.
Councilwoman Fava.
Congratulations, Officer Griffin. What I would like to say is that I'm a lifelong resident of Elmwood Park, and as far back as I can remember, which is a long time, Elmwood Park police officers have been very rare and unique. And not just because their ability to serve and protect, but because their ability to make a relationship with the residents in the community. And I wish you all the best and success, and I know you will make those remarkable relationships. Congratulations, and I pray always for your safety as well as the entire department. Congratulations, officer.
Councilwoman Ingwe.
I would like to welcome you to my family. You are working with the finest police department there is. I am a little biased, but stay safe, protect the community, protect your brothers and sisters in blue. We are here for you if you need anything, and I look forward to building a better relationship with you.
Council President and Police Commissioner Pellegrin.
Yes, congratulations, Officer Griffin. That sounds good, right? To you and your family. I wish you the best of everything, success in Elmwood Park with your career. Please always stay safe. And I agree with everybody here. The best thing you can have in a community is safety. And we have that each and every day because of all our police officers protecting us and led by Chief Foligno. So we're very lucky here and blessed to have such individuals protecting us on a daily basis. So welcome to our team, welcome to our family.
Officer Griffin, welcome. I too sat in your interview and was impressed from the very beginning. You have a very mature and professional demeanor about yourself. And as you join our force, I just ask that you serve our community with integrity and never lose sight of, the real goal, keeping people safe, and doing so responsibly. So we welcome you and hope that you have a long and fruitful career here. Thank you. At this time, just so everyone knows, we're going to go into an executive session for another subject, so I'll ask the clerk to read that. In the meantime, you can mill around, take pictures. We'll probably be about 10 or 15 minutes in the back. With that, if you could read the resolution.
On the floor, we have a resolution to enter into executive session, Resolution R-382-19, whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas the public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss personnel matters, minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore be it resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting.
Before I just take a motion on the resolution, Chief, did you want to say a few words?
Yes, thank you to the mayor and council for your continued support of the Elmwood Park Police Department. We can't effectively patrol the community proactively without your continued support. We thank you for that. Thank you to the rank and file that came out to support Officer Griffin. Thank you to my honor guard who does not get paid to be here, but they come all the time. Big shout out to Lieutenant Drang who runs the guard. Congratulations to the family and Officer Griffin. Look forward to working with you. Thank you for giving us an opportunity. Everyone, please rise while the colors are displayed, please. Ready, face, onward, arch.
Can I have a motion to go into executive session?
Second.
Ingui, Fasolo, call the roll, please.
Council members Balistrary,
Yes.
Fasolo,
Yes.
Fava,
Yes.
Ingui. Yes. Wetchler. Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We will be back shortly. Thank you. Have a motion to return back to the public.
So moved. Second.
Wetchler, Pellegrin, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We've now reconvened at 8:33 PM. Mayor will continue on with ordinances, beginning with those that we will introduce on first reading, starting with ordinance Resolution R-383-19, introduce ordinance number 19-28 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled Bond Ordinance to appropriate an additional sum of $125,000 for the replacement of the water main at Tuella Avenue in by and for the water utility of the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such additional appropriation and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds, be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, November 14th, 2019 at 8 p.m., or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it resolved that the acting borough clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Have a motion to introduce the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Ingui, Fasolo, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Balistrary,
Yes.
Fasolo,
Yes.
Fava,
Yes.
Ingui,
Yes.
Wetchler,
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution R-384-19, introduce ordinance number 19-29 on first reading. Be resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing a four-way stop at the intersections of Spydale Avenue and Miller Avenue, and to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park titled Traffic, more specifically Section 7-21 titled Multi-Way Stop Intersections, be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, November 14th, 2019 at 8 p.m., or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it resolved that the acting borough clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Have a motion to introduce this ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Fasolo, Balistrary, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Ballastreary?
Yes.
Fasolo?
Yes.
Fava?
Yes.
Ingley?
Yes.
Wetchler?
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution R-385-19, introduced ordinance 19-30 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing a four-way stop at the intersections of Martha Avenue and Miles Street, and to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, titled Traffic, more specifically Section 7-21, titled Multi-Way Stop Intersections, be passed and adopted on first reading. And be it resolved that final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, November 14, 2019, at 8 p.m., or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it resolved that the acting borough clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
May I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Wetchler, Pellegrin, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Ballastreary?
Yes.
Fasolo?
Yes.
Fava?
Yes.
Ingley?
Yes.
Wetchler?
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution R-386-19, introduced ordinance 19-31 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing a four-way stop at the intersections of Kip Avenue and Ray Street, and to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, titled Traffic, more specifically Section 7-21, titled Multi-Way Stop Intersections, be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, November 14, 2019, at 8 p.m. or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it resolved that the acting borough clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
May I have a motion to introduce the ordinance?
So moved.
Fasolo?
Second.
Ballasteri, any discussion? Call the roll.
Council members Ballastreary?
Yes.
Fasolo?
Yes.
Fava?
Yes.
Ingley?
Yes.
Wetchler?
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution R-387-19, introduced ordinance number 19-32 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing a four-way stop at the intersections of Elm Street and Washington Avenue, and to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of Borough of Elmwood Park, titled Traffic, more specifically Section 7-21, titled Multi-Way Stop Intersections, be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, November 14, 2019, at 8 p.m., or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time any persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it resolved that the acting borough clerk be and she is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
May I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Fasolo, Ingwe, any discussion? Call the roll.
Council members Ballastreary?
Yes.
Fasolo?
Yes.
Fava?
Yes.
Ingley?
Yes.
Wetchler?
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin?
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to ordinances being introduced on second reading. Resolution R-388-19, introduced ordinance number 19-25 on second reading. Whereas a public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing a four-way stop at the intersections of Gall Avenue and Franklin Street, and to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park titled Traffic, more specifically Section 7-21 titled Multi-Way Stop Intersections. Whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, September 19, 2019, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing a four-way stop at the intersections of Gall Avenue and Franklin Street, and to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park titled Traffic, more specifically Section 7-21 titled Multi-Way Stop Intersections, pass on final reading.
May I have a motion to open this to the public?
So moved.
Second.
Wetchler, Pellegrin, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone like to speak on this specific ordinance? Please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, we'll close public participation. May I have a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Wetchler, Ingwe, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Ballastreary?
Yes.
Fasolo?
Yes.
Fava?
Yes.
Ingwe?
Yes.
Wetchler?
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution R-389-19, introduced ordinance number 19-26. on second reading, whereas a public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Establishing a Four-Way Stop at the Intersections of Spidell Avenue and Lee Street," and to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park titled Traffic, more specifically Section 7-21 titled Multi-Way Stop Intersections. Whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, September 19, 2019, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting, whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Establishing a Four-Way Stop at the Intersections of Spidell Avenue and Lee Street," and to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park titled Traffic, more specifically Section 7-21 titled Multi-Way Stop Intersections, pass on final reading.
I have a motion to open it for public
So moved.
participation.
Second.
Inglead, Ballasteri, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone in the audience like to speak on this specific ordinance, please come forward. Seeing none, we'll close public participation, and I'll ask for a motion to adopt the ordinance.
So moved.
Fasolo,
Second.
Pellegrin, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Ballasteri,
Yes.
Fasolo, Fava,
Yes.
Ingwe,
Yes.
Wetchler, Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Resolution R-3, motion carries. Resolution R-390-19, introduce ordinance number 19-27 on second reading. Whereas a public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Establishing a Four-Way Stop at the Intersections of Spidell Avenue and Phillip Avenue," and to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park titled Traffic, more specifically Section 7-21 titled Multi-Way Stop Intersections. Whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, September 19, 2019, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given an opportunity to be heard concerning the same, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Establishing a Four-Way Stop at the Intersections of Spidell Avenue and Phillip Avenue," and to amend Chapter 7 of the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park titled Traffic, more specifically Section 7-21 titled Multi-Way Stop Intersections, pass on final reading.
May I have a motion to open it to the public? Wetchler, Fasolo, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone in the public like to speak on this ordinance? Seeing none, we'll close public participation. May I have a motion to adopt the ordinance? Wetchler, Fasolo, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Ballasteri,
Yes.
Fasolo, Fava,
Yes.
Ingwe,
Yes.
Wetchler,
Yes.
Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, continuing on to the consent agenda, we have R-391-19, approval of payroll, R-392-19, approval of bills list, R-393-19, authorized increase in hourly wage, Police Department, R-394-19, authorized current estimate number 1, Memorial High School tennis courts improvements, Zucaro, Inc., R-395-19, authorized payment, Zucaro, Inc., R-396-19, authorized emergency payment, Colonelli Brothers, Inc., R-397-19, authorized emergency payment, Zucaro, Inc., R-398-19, authorized emergency payment, Zucaro, Inc., R-399-19, approval of items, revenue, and appropriations, R-400-19, approval of items, revenue, and appropriations, R-401-19, approval of items, revenue, and appropriations, R-402-19, approval of items, revenue, and appropriations, R-403-19, capital budget amendment, R-404-19, authorized installation of equipment, Recreation Department park builders, R-405-19, authorized increase in hourly wage, Recreation Department, R-406-19, appointment of counselors for the 2019-2020 school year, after-school program, Recreation Department, R-407-19, appoint full-time laborer, Department of Public Works, R-408-19, appointment of construction official and building subcode official, Building Department, R-409-19, agreement to proceed with the installation and improvement of traffic signal, R-410-19, various appointments of firefighters, R-411-19, resignation of firefighters, R-412-19, adjustment to Recreation Advisory Board terms, R-413-19, authorized vacation buyback, Department of Public Works, Albert Ruth, R-414-19, resolution to refund overpayments, R-415-19, resolution to refund overpayments, R-416-19, Resolution to refund overpayments R-417-19. Resolution to refund overpayments New Jersey Tax Court judgments R-418-19. Authorized purchase of Bobcat Compact Excavator, Department of Public Works R-419-19. Authorized purchase of 2019 Police Interceptor SUV, Police Department R-420-19. Authorized contract with Riley's Outdoor Decor, and R-421-19, approving consent agenda.
May I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Second.
Wetchler, Pellegrin. Any discussion from the council? Call the roll, please.
Council members Ballastreary,
Yes, except I abstain on R-393-19 and R-419-19.
Fasolo,
Yes.
Baba,
Yes.
Ingui,
Yes, but I will abstain on R-391-19, R-393-19, and R-419-19.
Wetchler,
Excuse me, refuse on R-391-19, Harry Wetler's check, and yes to the rest.
Council President Pellegrin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Last on my agenda, we have the following departmental report, the Library Board minutes from July 15th, 2019.
Motion to accept and file.
So moved.
Second.
Wetchler, Fasolo, all in favor?
Aye.
That's all I have on my agenda this evening, Mayor.
Thank you. Committee reports. Councilor Fasolo.
Thank you. Firstly, I'd like to invite everyone to support the elementary school students and PTOs by attending tomorrow's trunk or treat event. There'll be a DJ, food trucks, and trick-or-treating. It will be held in the high school parking lot from 7 to 9 p.m. There'll be a $5 admission fee. Please come out with the family and support our PTOs who do so much for our district schools. Next, please come out to Blue 42 on Saturday, November 9th, and support the class of 2020 for their project graduation fundraiser. All are welcome to attend. I'd like to thank the students and staff who participated and donated in today's stigma-free dress down day. I'd also like to thank all the DPW, the coaches, and students and parents who volunteered in the townwide cleanup this past week. I was grateful seeing all of you out there, making our community a cleaner place to live. I had the honor of welcoming 2 new businesses in town. I represented the mayor and council for a ribbon cutting ceremony at Anytime Fitness, as well as the Leaping Lotus Wellness Center, both located on Market Street. Lastly, and sadly, yesterday I lost a special friend, and our community lost an amazing person in Angel Justiniano. I'm mourning alongside many of my coworkers at Elmwood Park High School. His presence in the halls and positive vibes will truly be missed. Progress, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Wetchler.
Yes, my homeowners report, the bus runs, there's a bus run tomorrow for the casino. At 10 o'clock with the rec department, you can still buy tickets there. There'll be no meeting in November, but there'll still be a bus run to the casino on Friday, November 27th at 10 o'clock. There'll be no meetings for the homeowners on December, and the next meeting for the homeowners will be January 22, 2020 at the senior center. The Christmas party you're having for the homeowners will be
Bless you.
Tuesday, December 10th at 7 o'clock at Francesco's Restaurant in Woodland Park. If anyone's interested, please call Linda Kennedy.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Ballastreary.
Okay, our recreation kinder crew program has begun at the training academy. Crew fall training sessions have also begun at the training academy. The recreation Halloween dance will be on October 30th from 6:30 to 8 for grades K through 5. The dog park installation has been completed. We are waiting on the installation of the sign, and a date will be set for the ribbon cutting. The Cherry Hill playground is currently being installed. DPW, the yard waste has been extended 2 extra weeks, and today was the last full day to pick up. We will now begin leaf collection. Grass and leaves can be dumped at the curb for the leaf vacuum pickup. Branches, however, can be tied, and a separate pickup will be arranged. The street sweeper is undergoing maintenance for the fall season and will be on the road again next week. The DPW has added festive mums to the tank, hay bales, and corn stalks on the corner of Market and Mola Boulevard. Also, it was added to the Veterans Monument. The rear parking lot of the municipal building has an anticipated completion date of October 26th. Last week's wind and rainstorm caused 9 trees and large limbs to fall into the roadway that required a cleanup and removal. With stigma-free, I want to thank the superintendent of schools and our school board for allowing our students and faculty to have a green dress-down day today for stigma-free. And I also say, it was a sad day for our community with the passing of Angel. My thoughts and prayers are with his family. Progress.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Fava, if you're ready.
Mayor and Council, at this point, I have not been assigned a committee yet. I do look forward to it. However, I would just like to say a few words about the passing of Angel and send my condolences to his family and to all his coworkers in the school systems. I happen to be working in the school systems at this time, and he will be very much missed. I also would like to thank the DPW for the planting of mums and flowers around the town. I've noticed it looks very nice. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Ingwe.
Thank you. For my ambulance report, the Elmwood Park Ambulance answered 73 calls in the month of September. Their probationary members are doing very well in school, and after graduation, they are looking forward to giving them more training to help continue to possibly make them full-time members. Our Community Day cleanup took place on October 12th. 66 of the fall athletes showed up with their gloves and garbage bags and walked the streets. They did a great job picking up a lot of litter in town. I received many pictures which I plan on submitting to our community newspaper. I would like to recommend to the mayor and council that we recognize Ms. Rizzoli and some of the fall coaches at the November meeting for putting this together. A lot of those coaches don't even live in town. I have also spoken with the athletic director, Mr. Basil, and he stated that the student athletes of Elmwood Park would like to continue volunteering for their town. As you all know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As you can see, my colleagues and I are wearing our awareness pins. Breast cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in women. The chance that a woman will die from breast cancer is 1 in 38. Cancer does not discriminate. It can affect anyone at any age. Ask your siblings, your moms, and yes, your teenage daughters, have you done a self-exam? Early detection is key to survival. Lastly, I would like to also ask our community to keep my dear friend Angel in your prayers and his family. My coworker, my friend Angel, passed away on the evening of October 22nd. He was only 40 years old. Angel's contagious smile and laugh will be missed in the school hallways. Life is short, and in the last few years has taught me that you don't have to be old to die. Love each other like it's your last day, because none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. Progress, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Council President Pellegrini.
Good evening, everyone. My Board of Health update. On Sunday, October 27th, they will be hosting the Happy Health Awareness Fair right here in the chambers. Time is 12 to 4 p.m. They will be offering blood pressure screening, flu shots, education and information on breast cancer awareness, alcohol and drug dependency, immunization programs, mental health awareness, and much more. There will be light snacks and goodie bags for the children. Come join them for this day of education and fun. Their next regular meeting will be November 11th at 7 p.m., and the next rabies clinic will be held November 20th from 5 to 7 p.m. at Firehouse Number 4 on Mola Boulevard. My police update. National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day is October 26th. This is a safe, convenient, and responsible way to dispose of unused or unexpired prescription drugs. For the first time, they will accept vaping devices and cartridges. However, devices containing lithium-ion batteries will not be accepted. Consult with stores that recycle these batteries. Location for drop-off is 182 Market Street, Elmwood Park, in the all-purpose room, the hours of 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Our police department also has its own drop-off box located outside the municipal court, which is accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. On Monday, November 4th, the police department will be participating in the annual career night at the Elmwood Park Memorial High School. Officers will meet and interact with students and talk with them about pursuing a career in law enforcement. On October 10th, the Elmwood Park Police Department successfully accomplished its first re-accreditation. In June 2016, under the direction of Chief Foligno, our police department became an accredited law enforcement agency. Accreditation acknowledges the implementation of policies and procedures that are sound and effective. The department must achieve and maintain 112 standards and provide proof to independent assessors. Reaccreditation is mandatory every 3 years and is continuous. Congratulations to the chief and the entire department for this success. My Chamber of Commerce update. They are hosting a charity dinner to benefit the Elmwood Park Residents Assistance Program and Rare is Beautiful. The date, Saturday, October 26th. Place, St. Leo's Gym, 300 Market Street, Elmwood Park. Tickets, $40 per person. You can purchase at the door, or you can call 201-796-1457, extension 230. Italian buffet dinner with dessert is catered by Taste of Italia. Come join us for a fun evening, and you will be helping 2 great causes. Thank you. Progress, Mayor.
Thank you, Council President. Just wanted to expand on one thing that Councilwoman Baldessari said about the parking lot in the back. In case anyone doesn't know or is wondering, that whole effort to repave that lot is to make that back lot strictly for employees and building personnel, so that the spots out in front, the 12 or 14 spots, can be for the public. On court days and other days, we run into the problem of the public coming to Borough Hall to do business, having to park on side streets or not really knowing where to go or what to make of the situation. So we're trying to make it more welcoming and make it make more sense. So that's what's going on there and should be done, as the councilman said, very shortly. Moving into that, into another subject, to do this parking lot, we had to take down some trees, take down some of the shrubbery, as part of an initiative that I have started and we're working on, 222 new trees by 2022. The first 4 trees will be planted in the back here next week to kind of symbolize the start of that program, as well as kind of replace the trees that were there. So that's 4. And about 20 residents have already signed up using our online link at elmwoodparknj.us/trees that they're interested. I had my assistant reach out to all of them, asking which one of the 3 trees that we're offering that would they like. We're talking about a red maple, a Washington cherry blossom, and a Cleveland Select hybrid as 3 options. So we'll make an order this winter for a certain amount of trees, and then once the spring comes, we'll be able to work with residents and start planting them once they, sign waivers absolving us of liability once the tree is actually there. Some updates on projects. We're working with Joe Garcia Construction, who was awarded the Tuella Ave bid to do the water lines and curbs and paving. We're pushing them along to see how much of that they can do this year in 2019. So that's a work in progress. Fort Clean was awarded the 2019 or 18 CDBG, which is a Summit Lee Summit Miller 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Street sections of that. They will be in either next week or the first week in November to complete that job. And it's not a big job, so that should be done this year. There was a pre-construction meeting with D&L Paving, which was awarded our large 2019 road paving program. They too will be coming in. You're welcome. They too will be coming in November to start the paving process. We hope to get as much of it completed this year as possible. Obviously, conscientious of weather, conscious of temperature, so that we don't cause any problems by paving in certain conditions. With that being said, just like to wish all and any candidates running the election good luck and encourage the residents to vote on November 5th. I'd like to ask for a motion to open it for public participation.
So moved.
Wetchler.
Second.
I think I heard Ms. Fava, Councilwoman Fava. Second that. So it will be Wetchler, Fava, all in favor? Aye. Anyone interested in speaking, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. And there's a 10-minute time limit. Thank you. There is.
Rich Chawinski, 42 Walnut Street, Mayor and Council. I have a question on the Building Department subcode official ordinance and the hiring of Mr. Ambrosio. I have nothing against Tony. He's a great inspector. I know a lot about him from my brother being in Saddlebrook. I do have a problem with the position of part-time. You know, it's only going to be 20 hours a week. And when you were talking about getting rid of the shared service agreement, you wanted somebody in the office more than was there at the time. Well, that they were sharing Fairlawn and Elmwood Park at the time. So I don't know how that's going to be done when Tony is full-time in Saddlebrook. So you're going to have 20 hours here. You're still going to have a part-time inspector. And the other thing I'd like to know is this a temporary position, or is this going to be the full-time position for him? Is you're going to hire him for interim, or is it going to be full-time?
This is our appointment for construction official.
All right, because
So unless something, happens on one end or the other, this is our intention for Mr. Ambrosio to be our construction official.
okay, so doesn't that trigger a civil service test? Both positions are civil service, both titles.
Whatever triggers it will trigger.
It has to be called provisional. I don't think it can be said that at the pleasure of the mayor and council. It's an interim position. In the meantime, a civil service exam will be triggered for this position. And there are two separate titles, which he'll hold one title, but there's two separate titles under civil service. One for your construction official and one for your subcode official. 05045 and 0540048 under our civil service guidelines, which means that within a year, you have to trigger a test, and anybody can become your building inspector, whoever scores high on that test. And with that, I welcome Tony. Welcome, Tony.
Thank you, Mr. Chawinski.
Joseph Dombrowski, excuse me, Joseph Dombrowski, 274 Lincoln Avenue, here in Elmwood Park. First, I'd like to say, where's the GOP? Seriously, I'm absolutely shocked that people who are running for mayor, running for council, chose not to come to council meetings and know what's going on, but oh well. With that said, first of all, I like what you did on the corner of Mola Boulevard. I hope it continues. I hope you do it for every season. But I also do have a question on the subcode official, because I was on the council when we made the decision to cancel the Fairlawn program. And part of that was because we felt we weren't getting enough time shared with our Fairlawn contract. I see this as not a shared service, and that basically it's going to be up to 80 hours per month. Let's say it's 20 hours per week. I just don't see where the town benefited from us getting away from the Fairlawn. Basically, it's almost, it might be even worse than what we have at Fairlawn. So what I don't understand is how you have a person who's going to have a full-time job in one town and then give hours to this town. Doesn't that person, and by the way, no offense to the individual you chose. I know him, I know Tony well, but my concern is he's got to work his full-time hours in Saddlebrook, or in his other community, excuse me, and then he's got to put his time in here. I just don't see how you could do that. It's shared service, it makes sense. He can leave the other town, come here, and we share back and forth. I just don't see this being better than what we had. Actually, I see it being worse. And if anybody hasn't noticed, our town is a town becoming a town of a lot of flipping of houses. We have River Road project coming up. There's going to be a lot of building being done in this town, and I just don't see that this particular agreement benefits the residents of Elmwood Park.
So, Mr. Dombrowski, if I could just answer, we didn't just kind of come up with this, out of a hat, right? So we had advertised for a part-time construction official. We advertised for a full-time construction official simultaneously, so we would have a wide range of options to choose from. Keeping in mind that the shared service agreement with Fairlawn cost us $40,000 or $50,000. The correct number escapes me at the moment, right? So we put out for full-time. We did not get a tremendously large amount of applications, and in some instances, people were asking for well north of six figures to be full-time, 32 and a half hours, because that's what full-time in Elmwood Park is, 32 and a half hours, asking for above six figures. There were other discussions that did not come to fruition. So we looked at this with the business administrator, with the borough administrator, the idea of Mr. Ambrosio, and discussed it with the council. We were interested, I discussed with Mayor Bob White of Saddlebrook to make it a shared service. That was not something that they were interested in. However, they gave their full blessing, and even endorsed Mr. Ambrosio as someone who could perform this function for us outside of the hours that he is due to Saddlebrook. He has committed to spending a minimum 3 hours of his day here in Elmwood Park every day, including in the middle of the day when he takes his lunch break or however he figures out his situation in Saddlebrook. I don't think and not to talk about the past, I don't think the past situation was necessarily an hours situation. I think the issues or the perceived issues, I think it was deeper than that. I think there was just more than strictly hours. And in this case, I think we're bringing on someone that already has a very good working relationship from the past with the borough administrator. And I think we all have the full confidence that this individual can come in, put the time in that it requires to run this department efficiently and be responsive to the borough administrator and the mayor and council. And it is an arrangement that if it maxed out at the 20 hours would not cost us more than the other arrangement. I think it's about work ethic and desire to make something work and function, and I think we have an individual who has all those qualities, and we're very, very hopeful and pretty sure that it will work out.
Okay. Well, as I said, I have nothing against Tony. Great individual, nice guy. Played baseball with him many, many years. I just hope that you're right. I just don't think that the residents of Elmwood Park are getting basically what they should be getting at this point. And then lastly, let me just say this. Dan, you and I have worked together quite a few years. I just want to say that I know your work ethic. I know how hard you've worked on this with this mayor and council. Now being mayor, I hope you get another shot.
Thank you, Mr. Dombrowski.
Jeffrey Freitag, 35 Hillman Drive. I do have a question, and correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was said that 20 residents have been notified that they're receiving trees.
20 residents were emailed, an email from myself saying that these are the 3 that we will be offering. If you at this time want to research them and tell us which one, we can kind of start planning in terms of how many we'll order each
I do
time.
know of one who didn't get any notification.
Okay, well, I'd have to.
He's probably one of the first ones to submit it.
So there were 6 people. So when we first put on the submission form, there was no spot for an email. So there's 6 people that will be getting a letter version of that email, because the first version did not have an email or phone number to put in, just a physical address. So unless it didn't get through the system.
They had inserted the email on that.
Okay. Well, then I have to specifically look into that.
Can I follow up with you after the meeting and get their contact info? I'll make sure it gets done.
Pardon me?
Can I follow up with you after the meeting, get their
Yeah,
contact?
it's my son.
Okay, just.
And he didn't get an email? Okay. Well, I mean, it was an oversight or something, because we are getting responses back. All right, I'll look into that, because I did see his name on the list, so I don't know what happens there, but okay.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Lori Livornia, 52 Martha Ave. We have a very...
last name, I'm sorry.
L-A, capital V-O-R-G-N-A.
Thank you.
Parking is horrendous where I live. And with the winter coming and no parking on Ann Street either side and one side of Martha Ave, it's going to be unbearable. People have driveways, they don't use them, and it's not fair to the people that don't have a driveway. And there's nights I come home at 12 o'clock at night after work, and I have to park a block away. It's not fair to us when people that have the driveways don't use them. So something needs to be done.
Do you have a specific complaint or situation of why this is occurring? Do you have an idea what's causing it? Is it just?
Well, people don't use their driveways, and then when they do park on the street,
So the driveways are empty and the street is.
their cars are in front of their house.
Unfortunately, they're not breaking the law.
No, I know that, but it's not fair to the people that don't have driveways. And then we're gonna park on the street and get a ticket for $150, which is crazy. I don't understand why on both sides of Ann Street you can't park on either side. And the case is, if you can't park on either side, then the streets should be immaculate and not with ice.
Call me, email me, and I'll follow up. I'll have my traffic division look into the whole area.
Okay.
We'll see if there's anything wrong. We'll see what we can do better.
Because I know the lady across the street from me, she thinks the front of her house is her parking space. If anybody parks there, she gets aggravated.
If you email me or call my office, we'll connect, and I'll get the traffic division out there. We'll do a whole workup, and we'll correspond with you and see how we can make it better for everybody.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Motion to close the public portion.
Second.
Ballesteri, Fasolo, all in favor? Motion to adjourn. Wetchler, Ingwe, all in favor? Thank you. Good night.